Express.
And welcome you to participate in the 6th APFECM webinar. And today's topic is about research status and sustainable management of plantations in China. And I think most of the people have been around, and we should get started while waiting for all the others. And first, please allow me to introduce our speaker today, Dr. Yuanchun Yu. Professor Yu is expert in forest ecology and soil science, and he's the director of Contaminated Soil Remediation and Environmental Protection Research Institute of Nanjing Forestry University. He holds a PhD in ecology and a Master of Science in Forest Ecology with over 35 years teaching and research experience. He also once studied or worked at University of New Brunswick, Canada, Clemson University, USA, and also Griffith University, Australia. His research interests mainly include forest ecology, maintenance of soil fertility, and sustainable management of plantations, soil biology and biochemistry, soil fertility and tree nutrition, and silviculture soil management interactions. He has secured more than 40 research projects of external funding support, including 2 national key research and development programs of China, 6 national natural science foundation of China, 2 Emirates Plus projects of European Commission, and 8 international cooperation projects, etc. He has published 186 referred journal and conference paper, with 45 of them in the past 5 years. So now let's welcome Dr. Yu to give his speech. Okay, let's hand over to Professor Yu.
Okay, thanks very much. My name is Yuanchun Yu. I come from Nanjing Forestry University. Today's topic is research status and sustainable management of plantation in China. My research mainly focus on forest ecology and forest soil science. This is general information of me. First, please let me just very briefly introduce Nanjing Forestry University. Nanjing Forestry University is located in Nanjing. Is one of the third forestry university in China. There are 23 colleges, about 2,040 staff, and more than 30,000 students. This is our university's locations, Nanjing. This is the Purple Mountains. This is very close to Xuanhu Lake. About China, first I just give you general information about Chinese plantations. Chinese plantations have developed rapidly within an area of about 67.6 million hectares, ranking first in the world. Plantations play a significant role in China's economical, environmental construction and economic development. China has a distinct climate and abundant tree species resource. There are over 1,000 excellent and special economic tree species, but only about more than 10 species are truly used for large-scale afforestation, mainly including large, popular Chinese fir, Amazonian pine, and eucalyptus plantations. However, due to the long-term use of traditional extensive management methods, Chinese plantations face some problems and challenges, such as low quality, unreasonable structure, poor import, and poor ecological functions. So in this report, I will maybe give you some general information about Chinese forestry and especially Chinese plantations and some problems plant of Chinese plantations, with a focus on the largest area of Chinese fir and eucalyptus plantations in southern China. Actually, this is also mainly main research areas. Here is first, I just give you some general information about China's climate. Actually, also China's land is very very big, but actually you can see from the south is humid areas. This area is the semi-humid areas, and in the northwest mainly is arid regions and semi-arid regions. So the Chinese temperature zone from the south is tropical and subtropical, and temperate, warm temperate and cold temperate. So climate is very distinct. This is the Chinese forest resource. You can see mainly forest actually is distributed mainly in the southeast area of China, southeast area of China. In 2022, Chinese forest area is about 231 million hectares. You can see this is a change from 1990 to 2022 Chinese forest areas. So now Chinese forest areas is 231 million hectares. Forest average coverage is 24.02%. This is the average. Actually, some province is very more than this, such as highest forest coverage in Fujian is the highest forest coverage province with 65.95%. This is a forest coverage. In the quality of forest in China, with an average of warm of about 95.02 cubic meters per hectare. So this is about 69% of the global average and less than 1/3 of Germany's. So the annual growth rate of forest accumulation per hectare is only half of that of Germany. So this is the shortcomings of Chinese forestry. According to 2015 Global Forest Resource Assessment Report, China's forest area accounts for 5.51% of the world's forest areas, ranking 5th after Russia, Brazil, Canada, and the United States. This is China, 5th. Forest accumulations accounts for 3.34% of the world's forest accumulations, ranking 6th after Brazil, Russia, United States, Congo, Canada. Also, China's areas under forest warmings is very big, but the per capita forest area in China is very lower, only 1/6 of the world's per capita forest warmings. In the national forest, there are 12.7 million hectares of relatively young and middle-aged forests. This account about 63.7% of the total forest areas. The short storage warming per hectare is early, 66.16 cubic meters, nearly 30 cubic meters less than the national average forest storage warming per hectare. That means the special potential for improving warming and the quality of young and middle-aged forests in China is enormous. because most forestry is still in young and middle ages. So management is enormous. How about sustainable forest management of plantations? Sustainable forest management is mainly maybe is origin from Germany. Its scientific management is guided by the concept of sustainable development, following natural laws and economic and social development laws to promote the improvement of forest quality, maintain the health and sustainability of forest systems, continuous involvement in the ecological, economic, and social functions of forests at a high level. The goal of sustainable forest management for China, it is expressed that within 20 to 30 years, the unit area growth of forest in China can increase by 50%. At that time, the annual growth of forest storage will reach 1.37 billion cubic meters, an increase of 460 million cubic meters in growth compared to the current level, and an additional of 350 million cubic meters in timber output, which will effectively enhance the timber supply capacity. So it's a sustainable forest management in China. China's plantations, now the area has existed about 87.6 million hectares, coming first in the world. In 2023, China completed afforestation of 4 million hectares. 1/4 of the world's greens in the past 20 years has been contributed by China. So this is a global ranking of a nearly increased forest of land. So China is the first bigger contributor to the world. Many plantations in China also they are all more than maybe 1,000 economic and enormous trees, but only maybe more than about 10 trees is widely plantations. Here I list 5 of them. First is Chinese fir. Chinese fir is mainly distributed in the south of China. Here you can see is a count about nearly about 19.01% of Chinese plantations. This is the first. The second is the populus. Populus is about 18%. Populus. Actually, in China, populus, there is a lot of different kind of tree species. It's distributed in from north to south, but the species is different. The third is the eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is mainly distributed in the tropical and the south subtropical areas. It's actually one import trees from Australia and New Zealand, from some tropical countries. The third is larch. Larch is mainly distributed in the north of China. And another is the Masonia pines, is mainly in the south of China. So this 5 plantations, nearly about 60%. There are some about 40 is other trees. This is a populus, mainly used in agri-forestry. Agri-forestry, you can see, especially in the plain areas, is widely used in China, especially in some plain areas. Here, I will take the Chinese plantation to discuss some sustainable management and some problems of plantations. Chinese fir is the most widely cultivated timber trees in China. The 9th National Forestry Resource shows that in 2022, the area of Chinese fir plantations has reached 9.87 million hectares. It's a count nearly about 20% of plantation in China. Chinese fir is a unique, fast-growing timber tree species in China. It's the Chinese fir distributions is mainly in the subtropical, especially such as the center areas is Fujian, Jiangxi, Hubei province. This is the distribution center of Chinese plantations. What is the traditional management of Chinese plantations? Actually, Chinese plantation in China have been history nearly about 70 years. So firstly, the monoculture practice. You can see Chinese fir is early one species. This mixed with other kind of trees. So the monoculture practice is widely used in China. The second is continuous cropping. What is continuous cropping? That means after harvest, the second rotations is still planting Chinese fir. And after the harvest of second rotations, the third rotations is still plant Chinese fir. Because of the continuous cropping, so some problems have been disappeared in China's Chinese fir plantations. So actually, no continuous cropping is very few used in China. Now, in some places, have been continuous cropping have been third and fourth rotations in some places. And the third is clear cuttings. That means all harvest is clear cuttings. That is clear cuttings all. You can see this is picture that shows after the clear cuttings. And another management practice is slash burnings. In the traditional, in the forest farmers, after harvest, there is a slash burnings. So a lot of forest litter is burned. This is also widely used in China. And also site plantations. You can see after planting Chinese fir seedlines, maybe a lot of grass and shrubs. So you need to prepare the land. So this is the traditional Chinese fir plantations. Because of the traditional management, actually there is some problems have been disappeared in Chinese fir plantations. Here, I just give you some general information. Here is some pictures shows some Chinese fir plantations. You can see this is a widely monocultures. This is Middle Ages Chinese plantations. This is a soil profile of Chinese plantations. This is 1 year old, just planting. This is 2 years old. This is 4 years old. This is 20 years old. What is the rotation of Chinese plantation? In generally is about 20 to 25 years. In generally before, maybe later I will discuss about rotations. So what's the problems with the Chinese plantation traditional management? Here, I just give you some reasons. Firstly, the nutrient biological cycle. That's Chinese fir itself, the reasons. You can see, Chinese fir, forest litter beginning in 5 to 6 years. Nutrients returned by litter fir are very limited before the age of the 10. You can see 10 here. Litter fir are very small. Great amount of litter fir beginning in 14 to 15 years here, 15 years. So nutrient returned by litter fir begin actually in mature stands about 14 to 50 years. Here is some data shows you litter keep in tree characters. So most litter still keep in tree before 10 years. After 15 years, litter become important, but still a lot keep in tree. That means not litter to the ground. How after fourth litre go to ground, how about the decomposition of litre 4? In general, the decomposition rate of litre 4 is between 25 to 45%. Compared with some broadleaf trees, it's slowly. The decomposition rate, such as the decomposition rate of an oak maple, is about 90%. So Chinese fir is only about 25 to 45%. This is decomposing very slowly. So nutrient content of litre 4 is very small. Decomposition rate is very slowly. Litre keep in the tree decompose more slowly. So nutrient cycle rate of Chinese fir is less than 40%. Nutrient absorption is greater than nutrient return. This maybe is one of the reasons because the nutrient absorption by Chinese fir is greater than nutrient return by forest litre. This is maybe just Chinese fir itself reasons. Here, this picture shows some soil carbon. Carbon is mainly soil organic matter. You can see this picture is different soil layers from 0 to 100 centimeters. This is a broadleaf forest. That means before, such as if no plantation, no Chinese plantations, is broadleaf forest. This is a young Chinese fir. This is a middle age. This is a mature age. You can see during the development of Chinese plantations, soil carbon storage shows a trend of a first decrease and then recovering. When the first age is 14 years, soil carbon storage reaches its lowest values. When the first is 10 to 7 age, soil carbon storage returns to pre-forested average. This is just our research results. Maybe you can see these pictures. You can see so carbon storage actually first is decrease, and then after 40 years, maybe about 40 years, it will be increasing. And at about 10 to 7 years, it's arrived the pre-afforestation. So maybe after 10 to 7 years, so carbon storage may be increased more than before. Actually, but now our rotations generally is less than 10 to 7 years. So now the sustainable management is encouraged to harvest after 10 to 7 years. After 10 to 7 years. So actually, a lot of results have been found after continuous croppings, such as degradation of soil fertility and decline of product, have been found in some stands of second rotations and third rotations. Nutrient leaching and shortage is one of the most important reasons for degradations of soil fertility, and because site plantations and site burning caused a lot of nutrient leaching, and shortage is one of the most important reasons for degradations of soil fertility. Continuous of cropping in Chinese for product. Here is just our results, some results. Mean tree height, DBH, and worm of the second planting decreased by 9%, 12%, and 10% respectively. Third planting decreased more, 10%, 60%, and 56% respectively. Mean individual biomass of the second and third planting for Chinese fir decreased by 18% and 42% respectively. Soil fertility of Chinese fir continuous cropping also cause soil physical properties and nutrients and chemical properties become worse. Here, give you some data of the continuous of croppings. This picture also shows after the first rotations and the second rotation and the third rotations above the carbon storage. Here is the soil also decrease. That means continuous cropping is one of the problems cause the soil carbon storage decrease. Also, side burning on soil fertility and side prepaying and clear cutting on soil fertility is also one of the reasons. Side burning burn off a lot of organic matter and nutrients. Actually, this is widely used in Chinese for plantation side burnings. Side burning may increase some dissolved nutrients and activity of soil microorganisms and soil inanimate. Soil burnings, side burnings may increase the soil and the water wash away, damage the soil quality. So this is very interesting, Actually, in some places, side burnings may be cause the growth, Chinese for growth a little more than no side burnings at the beginning, just the first few years. Side prepaying also in Chinese overall side preparation is widely used. This is developed from a grant, especially soil developed from grant, maybe cost soil erosion, such as the nutrients and also nutrients and organic matters. Clear cutting on soil fertility, according to 14 repeat site results, clear cutting of 29 years of Chinese for stands in 6 site intakes removed biomass nearly about 207 tons per hectare, nutrients more than 1,000 kilograms. So this is the clear cuttings cause the nutrients and the biomass removed from the land. This is maybe also cause the soil fertility and the productivity of the second rotations to decrease. So how to sustainable management of Chinese plantations? Here, just to give you some suggestions or some practices have been used in China. First is change the traditional management methods. Just I have managed some traditional methods should be changed. Stop the burning and overall site preparation. Actually, now here in China and now have been site burning and overall site preparation have been less used in China. And the protection of undergrowth, actually, according to our research, undergrowth is very important for the soil fertility and the soil and Chinese for productivity is very important. And also stop monoculture practice mixed with broadleaf trees. Actually, now it's widely used in China. Now it's widely used to mix it with some broadleaf trees and stop continuous cropping. Now, actually, after the second and the third rotations, now actually we in China have been stopped continuous cropping. That means planting to some other kind of trees. Just the trees rotations stop Chinese for continuous croppings. If possible, in some places, maybe forced fertilizations. Actually, forced fertilization is not widely used in China, but in some places, in some stands can be used forced fertilizations. Here, just to give you some pictures, shows some sustainable management. This is our research size. This is the Chinese for. You can see this is the Chinese for plantations. This is some broadleaf trees. So this is a mixed Chinese for with some broadleaf trees. You can see this is Chinese for plantations. This is broadleaf trees. This is broadleaf trees. This picture shows you actually after harvest, after the middle age of Chinese plantations, under the forest, we plant some broadleaf trees. You can see this is the broadleaf trees. This is broadleaf trees. So this is now is widely used in China. This is just some pictures. You can see this is Chinese plantations after thinning thinning, thinning at the middle age. We plant some broadleaf trees under the forestry. You can see. So you can see actually this forest can be, there is two layers. The first, the topmost is Chinese for plantations, but under is some broadleaf trees. This practice is widely used in China at plant. Okay, here I just give you some information about the Chinese plantations. Another maybe don't have a lot of times about eucalyptus plantations. I just give you very few information about eucalyptus plantations management in China. Actually, eucalyptus plantations is an import tree species, mainly maybe from Australia and New Zealand. Actually, now first eucalyptus plantation is planted in Guangxi province in China. Now this eucalyptus is mainly planted in tropical areas and some south tropical areas of China. These trees may be the most ugliest trees in China. Why? Because eucalyptus grows very fast. Very fast. Maybe 1 year, nearly about 2 meters height to more than 2 meters. So rotations very short. In China, some rotations only about 6 to 7 years. So eucalyptus with a high economic benefit. So a forest farm and a parent is very willing to plant eucalyptus in the south of China because enormous economic benefit is only about 6 to 7 years. Chinese for is more than 20 years, nearly about 25 years. So eucalyptus is only about 6 and 7 years. Is also there is an enormous market, but because eucalyptus grows too fast, it also causes some problems in China. Maybe sometimes it's so-called water pumping machines cause soil and climate drought. Maybe, but not according to our some expert research. Actually, eucalyptus is not really the reasons, and also cause nutrient pumping machines. This is so-called, not really, so-called nutrient pumping machines, because eucalyptus causes soil fertilizer declines. So eucalyptus fertilizer is necessary. It's necessary. If no fertilizations, maybe the product is very lower. Also cause maybe diversity disappear and the water quality decline. This is just some so-called results. Actually, it's not really the results. According to some researchers, expert research, maybe it's not really eucalyptus itself. Maybe some management reasons. Here, just to show you some pictures, you can see this is young eucalyptus plantations. This is the middle-aged plantations, is mature plantations. This is a profile, soil profile. So, what's the problems of eucalyptus plantations in China? According to the research, also some problems appear. Actually, it's not the eucalyptus trees itself. The reason is not the eucalyptus trees itself, because it's mainly because of the management, corporate management, such as short rotations. Be too short. It's only about 6 to 7 years is too short. And I need to use fertilizers and leading to soil degradations, too short rotations. Another is maybe lower biological diversity. This is also caused by burning clay-cut herbicides. So actually in China, now we have been changed some traditional management measures of eucalyptus plantations, such as to try to protect understories of the forest. And also large area of monoculture, also large area monoculture. This can be risk to large-scale pest and disease. So actually, also in China, in some areas, eucalyptus plantations they have some restrict to development of eucalyptus plantations. So according to Chinese many express results, it's not really the eucalyptus trees itself. Also some problems appear, but it's not really, maybe it's mainly because of the management, improper management measures. Actually, this picture I show you, this is in eucalyptus in Australia. You can see Australia, everywhere is widely distributed of eucalyptus plantations. You can see no, so this problems appeared in China. So eucalyptus itself, no problems. The problems is the management. So in China, now eucalyptus plantations is also some traditional management is also changed in China. Okay, I talked a little bit fast. I also have in recent years. In recent years, I have also there are a lot of publications about Chinese fall and eucalyptus plantations. If you are interested, you can find some mainly papers about Chinese fall and eucalyptus plantations management. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Maybe a little bit quick. Thank you. It's all. If you have any questions, we can still have time to exchange some ideas. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, speech here. And now the next part, you may raise some questions, and we may have further discussions. You can unmute the audio, and also you can type your questions into the chat box. All right. So anyone have any questions? Okay, so I see Ines raised his hand, right?
Yes, I did. Thank you. That was a very nice presentation, Dr. Yu. I enjoyed it very much. I had a question regarding the choice of eucalypt species and hybrids that are being used in some areas. I've seen in Fujian province eucalypts that have got severe forking, and that's normally a sign of cold damage during the summer, when the summer hasn't been hot enough to support that particular type of eucalyptus. And I'm wondering how good is the provenance selection for and the site matching of eucalyptus species in China?
Okay, thank you. You mean hybrid eucalyptus species?
Well, I honestly don't know what species it was that I was looking at. We didn't have a forester with us. But what I could see that every single stem, the leader had died and it had forked, and it was basically no use as a timber species. It could only be used for pulp.
Actually, because in China's eucalyptus is mainly a tropical species. Actually, is mainly planted in the south of China, mainly tropical areas such as Guangxi, Guangdong, and Yunnan, and also planted in the south of Fujian province. Also, because eucalyptus cannot be planted in some cold areas, so in China also maybe mainly I think actually I not very special in hybrid species, but in China eucalyptus mainly maybe I think you nearly about 5 to 6 species. In China, some experts is also trying to maybe cultivate some species can be planting to a little bit north of China. You just mentioned in which province? It means in which
it was in Fujian province, and it was around Sanming,
Fujian?
city of Sanming. In Fujian.
Fujian.
I've seen very successful eucalyptus in Hainan.
Oh, you mean in Fujian?
Very well, but in Fujian it was not growing well.
Actually, many research sites is mainly located in Fujian province. Fujian actually, just in Xiamen, Zhangzhou, in the south subtropical areas can be planting eucalyptus. Actually, in Fujian province, sometimes because some problems disappeared, so the government wants restrict the planting and the development of eucalyptus in Fujian province. But now, actually, according to a long time research, also some such as drought and water, some problems is not really caused by eucalyptus plantations. So now is also can be planted in some areas. I'm not sorry. I maybe not really got your point.
No, thank you. I think that's adequate. We should move on to Rod, who I'm sure has also got a eucalyptus question.
Eucalyptus in Fujian is early planted just in where the source of Fujian province. Is not a main plant. Actually, eucalyptus is the most largest province is Guangxi. Guangxi is very important. Actually, in China, some people said even no eucalyptus plantations, maybe more Chinese harvest will be harvested. So eucalyptus is very important to support Chinese timber supply, especially timber supply in China is very, very important. Even no eucalyptus plantations, maybe more other kind of forest will be harvested. So it's very important to protect the China's ecological and environmental protections. So this is immense. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the other question. So I noticed that Sam is raising his hand. So Sam, you can unmute.
Rod had a question first.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam. I'll ask mine later.
Yeah, thank you very much for very interesting presentation. I just have 2 questions. One is the Chinese government, they have strategy to plant some native species. Native.
Sorry.
The indigenous tree species of native species. Because I saw that mostly it's plant pine and eucalyptus. And recently I heard that you also do research some plant some acacia. Yeah. You clear the question?
Yeah. You just I not really got your point.
Do Chinese government you have a program to plant the native tree species?
Native what?
Yeah.
I think it's native, right?
Yeah.
Natural species.
Natural species. Natural species. Okay.
Yeah. The secondly, do you have some facing problem with soil erosion or soil problem in the area that you plant the eucalyptus plantation?
Okay, thank you. The first,
thank
actually,
you.
I just take this two plantation species. One is Chinese fall, another is eucalyptus. Actually, Chinese fall is very local Chinese species. Is local Chinese species. Eucalyptus is import from mainly maybe from actually from Australia or New Zealand. Actually, you know, in China, the forest areas is very steep, very steep. Some places more than maybe more than some places more than 15 degrees. So traditional management such as slash burning, clear cutting, and site planting cost a lot of soil and erosions. Is very serious. There is a lot many research results about the soil erosions. So also this is one of the main reasons cause the soil degradations and site productivity declines of the Chinese fall and eucalyptus plantations in the south of China. This is one of the maybe one of actually the reason is very complex. Is maybe more. This is maybe is one of the most very important reasons because of soil erosions, especially in south of China, because the area is very steep. Yeah, more than some places more than 15 or 10 degrees very steep. So that we have a lot of research areas to research how many. Today I don't give you some research data about soil erosions data. Actually, we have a lot of compared different research sites, such as if you have site burnings and compared with no site burnings and compared with our raw site planting and clear cuttings, how much soil erosions. There are a lot of research data. Yeah.
Thank you. And other question?
Thank you.
Yeah. I had a question. Thanks, Dr. Yu, about wood supply. So how much wood is actually supplied from plantations currently? And you mentioned that there's a capacity to grow wood supply by or increase by 350 million cubic meters with sustainable forest management. But it seems that many of the things that you're proposing will actually improve the sustainability, but reduce the capacity of the forest to supply timber. So what is the interaction between the need to improve biodiversity, maintain soil and water resources, and how will that affect the capacity to increase wood supply?
Excuse me, you are in where?
In Australia, University of Melbourne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Australia. I have been half years in Australia visiting in Griffiths. Yeah, I see actually too many eucalyptus plantations in Australia. No problems. Actually in Australia, no water, no soil degradations of eucalyptus plantations.
So, first question, how much wood is produced from plantations now, from in China?
How much what?
How much wood?
Let me rephrase Ross' question. So Ross is wondering that how many trees supplies the timber, how many wood supply is coming from the plantation?
他的意思是多少木材是来自于人工
对你
林？
种植产了多少木材？他说的是
人工林占总木材占总的木材的多少？
供给
I
的数
think
量。
I have a picture that show. You can see.
Okay, Professor Yu is trying to share a
Yeah,
graph.
Here in China, coming first, the total storage capacity. This is maybe million, 3,000 million cubic meters, more than 3,000 million. But the harvest, you means every year maybe less than the totally storage capacity is about 3,388 million cubic meters. This is China's plantations totally. Actually, you know, the harvest is actually in China is controlled, is controlled by the government every year. Yeah. Actually, you know, actually the timber market in China at present is not very high. I just get a message. Now, such as Chinese plantations, the market value is only about maybe 700 yuan, 1 meters. So now, actually, in China, is encouraged to cultivate long times. That means the bigger timber, big timber. That maybe will be high value and high economic values. Thank you.
Mhm.
I sort of get the question because I mean you said 3,000 million, but that's like 3 billion, which is almost the whole global house. So I've put the question in the chat.
Okay, you can take a look at the chat box and see Roar's question there.
Sorry.
So maybe you can send me some information later. But the big question I have is for the future management of China's plantation, is the focus on wood production or on biodiversity and environmental services?
Okay. You means what's the production is? No, actually, you know, actually in China, actually the timber is used less than before. So market is also not as good as before. So actually in China, because the market reasons, actually we don't have a big harvest at present, especially such as Chinese fall, no big market. No big market. So why eucalyptus is also a little also market is very good because it can be used to paper industries. Actually, Chinese plantations the use is very less than before. So no big market. Actually, it's very cheap at present. So actually, we don't harvest a lot every year. Yeah.
Because you import a lot of wood now too, right?
Yeah. Because actually, from agriculture, from industrial, it's maybe possible to develop new use of the timber. So in China, it's maybe it should be to develop some new use of the timber, such as the house constructions use less timber. Yeah. So no big market, no good market about timber. Yeah, in China at present, it's very cheap compared with before. Compared with such as bamboo. Actually, in bamboo also is the same problems in China. Some bamboo just live in the mountains, no harvest, because harvest costs a lot of money. Yeah. The market it cannot support the harvest. So actually, in China, you see a lot of bamboo just live in the mountains, no harvest. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah. So the challenges you talk about are access for timber production, access, labor, the cost of production. So you have many challenges in producing more timber, not just growing the trees.
Yeah.
Okay. 谢谢. Thank you.
谢谢. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we don't have enough time to have more further discussions. So maybe later we can, after this webinar, we can have further discussions later. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the last question. And you may take a look at the chat box, Dr. Yu, and see any questions you can respond to. I think they are big questions.
Pardon? There's a question?
Rima is asking that what is China currently doing to increase its forest vegetation cover, and how China protects wildlife?
Wildlife?
This is a big question, right?
Yeah. Actually, this is not really my research areas. Actually, in China, a lot of natural protection zones have been built in China. So I think is also China take a lot of measures to protect wildlife.
Okay, let me take a look at the other questions. And also here are some students who are asking for the PPT of today. So so later we may have a discussion over how can we share the PPT, okay? And we only have 2 minutes left. Any further questions? All right.
I got a question in the chat box, waiting for Dr. Yu's with the comments about the change the rotation age from 40 years now to the 10 to 15 years. What do you think about that? The change of the Chinese for rotation age?
You mean yes? Traditional in China's Chinese for plantations management rotation is nearly about 10 to 2 about. So at the present, our government is encourage more long rotations to build maybe bigger timbers, because now the Chinese for plantation market is not very good, but for bigger timber, maybe good market. also can be protected soil fertilizers and also maybe sustainable management. So now the government encouraged to more than rotation is more than 27, 30 sometimes. So actually at the present in China, some forest farmers rotation is more than 30 years, more than you can be 30, more than 30, 35, or sometimes maybe 40 years to harvest Chinese plantations. It's the same for eucalyptus. Eucalyptus used to be 6 to 7 years, but now is also encouraged more rotation, more long rotation times, at least such as more than 20 or longer. So it's encouraged in China.
Okay, I'm afraid we should wrap up here because we are out of time. And just to recap, so today we have a very interesting discussion over the current status of Chinese plantation. And we have a very productive webinar. And now this brings us to the end of this meeting. So thank you for your time and participation. Have a good day. Thank you, Professor Yu.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.